Hello, guys, and welcome to another very serious Couch Talks, where we talk about Zombieland Double Tap. Yeah. What did you think of this movie?
Serious.
Since you haven't actually watched the original, which I thought you had when we watched Double Tap, but that's okay.
I definitely felt like I would have appreciated more of it, and also just kind of understood a little more at the beginning if I had watched the other one. But you know, that's like how sequels work. I didn't feel like I had to remember the entire plot of the other one, just they made jokes about a couple key points of the plot, and also I didn't really know how the zombification worked. So there's this scene where this new character is the first zombification that happens in this movie. Has an allergic reaction to some food, and at first I was like, no guys, she's having an allergic reaction, and then they're all like, she's turning into a zombie, and I was like, okay, I guess turning into a zombie is just like having an allergic reaction. I was actually right the first time, and I might have known that if I'd seen the first movie, because by the time we see another zombification process, it's actually a real one. It's not at all the same. Like, there are a couple things that are similar, but there was definitely a difference, but I'd already dismissed it in my head by the time we got to that point. But yeah, I did think it was a fun, silly movie.
Yeah, no, I love Zombieland. The original was tons of fun. I do think, as it kind of goes, the original was better than Double Tap, but Double Tap still holds its own. Definitely one of the better sequel movies that I have ever seen, I feel like. I think Zombieland always has, the classic but also fun take on zombies. The characters really bring a lot of fun and silliness to the screen in a very, classically kind of scary situation. And they're all the main characters, but you have, what's his name, Jesse Eisenberg, which I can never remember which nickname the character has on screen.
Is that this guy?
That's this guy.
Him.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's that nerd dude.
That nerd dude with the rules. But him
The group.
Yeah, him narrating is always fun. I like the humor that character has is appeals to me quite a bit. I love the car gag throughout the movie. Throughout the movie, they're going they're going to find the daughter of the group effectively, and every time they come up on a new vehicle, something happens where they have to go back to this like really crappy minivan, which Woody Harrelson's character, Tallahassee, I believe, if I recall correctly, is just super bent out of shape about. He's just really not happy about it.
It's a minivan. A man does not drive a minivan.
Yeah.
That's kind of his attitude about it. But like, they have their own car, which is souped up and has like guns built into it, which the kid steals. So they take this minivan, and then they're gonna get this RV, and it like pops a tire, and they can't replace it, so they have to continue with the minivan. And then there's this monster truck, which they just have no idea how to drive, so they have to get back in the minivan. And it kind of feels like there was some sort of issue with filming where they wanted one of these other cars and it wasn't available for some reason. So they just were like, well, we have this minivan, and somebody complained about it on the team, and it got turned into a joke.
Yeah, it does kind of feel that way, but it doesn't feel out of place in the movie either.
I actually like it more when that's the reason behind those kind of gags, so I definitely don't mean that in a bad way. It does feel like one of those.
It is, of course, fun to see the continuation of the story. That's what really drives me to sequels, is to see where the characters are now, where they're going, and what new fun, interesting, and potentially crazy of shenanigans they're going to get up to now. And if you've never watched Zombieland before, Zombieland 1 or Double Tap, they give everybody nicknames, or at least the main group does, of like where they're from. So you have like Tallahassee and Wichita and Little Rock and Nevada and Reno and all that stuff. Basically it's a built-in social like defense mechanism, but also it's just kind of a fun trope throughout the movie and series.
And the way the characters are written, they are all stereotypes of wherever they're from. So there's Berkeley, who's a hippie musician, and then Tallahassee is the, like, old, kind of out of touch dad figure with too many guns.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it's always fun. Then we have Babylon, which is the like hippie mecca of the movie, where Little Rock and Berkeley
Yes, Berkeley.
end up, and where the rest of the crew finds them. And it's this big tower with, like, it's very nice. It's all crazy colorful. You know, it's about as hippie as you can get. They melt down the guns before you can enter the compound, and
they turn them into peace signs.
Yeah.
They're like this big, and they just go on a necklace.
Yeah. Which, you know, can obviously pose some problems in a zombie apocalypse. Just saying. But it was fun. It was interesting. It was a cool little spot and thing and idea.
I do wish that they had done something with that.
Yeah.
Like, it's obviously not the most intellectually engaging movie, because it's Zombieland. It's about shooting zombies and making
fun of it, basically.
Low-level jokes.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
It did seem kind of weird that they named this place Babylon, they gave it a tower, and then everything just turned out fine for them. They all survived. Like, I don't think anybody there died.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But anyway,
Nothing bad happened.
Yeah. I mean, they did get temporarily overrun by zombies, but they resolved that as well.
Yeah.
I miss the Twinkies. I miss the Twinkies. The Tallahassee was always after the Twinkie truck because, you know, Twinkies survived the apocalypse, and also Twinkies. And it was I loved in the first movie how it was just always it was a plot device, but also it was just funny to me. He was just like obsessed with these Twinkies, and he'd stop at every Hostess truck and usually end up throwing a fit because there wasn't a Twinkie, or celebrating because there was. You know, he'd stop at every gas station or whatnot. And I really enjoyed that. I thought it was a lot of fun. But that I don't think that comes up a single time in Double Tap, which I didn't even fully realize until the end of the movie. So obviously I didn't miss it that much, but I do miss it nonetheless now that I've watched the movie. Let's see. The Tallahassee has his catchphrase, which he said in the original movie. I don't remember exactly what it was now, but I do feel like it was only brought up a few times in the movie, but I felt like it was either brought up too little to, like, for me to care about it, or it was somehow brought up so overtly that I just kind of found it annoying.
Yeah, it was so there's, like, something's funny, and then you do it too much, but if you keep doing it, it's funny. And I feel like it kind of landed in that middle region.
Yeah.
Where they didn't overdo it enough for it to be overdone.
Yeah, like, it was funny the first time, and the second time it was like, okay. And then the third time it was like, why are we still talking about this catchphrase?
Yeah, like, if it had been, like, back to back to back to back, it would have been funny, but they didn't.
They didn't do that.
Enough.
Yeah, which, I mean, you know, I don't know what constraints they were operating under, but it did feel, it wasn't a positive aspect of the movie for me. Zombieland 1 also had this thing going on that we're about to talk about, is the text that drops down.
Yeah.
Whenever, especially the narrator talks about his rules. But just in general. I always find that kind of thing fun, mostly. It's very rarely out of place for me, especially when you have a narrator.
Yeah.
You know, the Harley Quinn movie did it a lot in her own style, which was a lot of fun. I just personally really like that kind of thing.
Yeah. I also liked what they did with it. Like there's one scene where there's a zombie that they shoot twice and it doesn't die, but the roll comes down, and at first it's double tap, and it's like triple, quadruple.
Oh yeah.
Going, and then it lands on whatever the word for 9 is, tap.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's because one of the new zombies, the T-800s or whatever, named after the Terminators, are a lot tougher, like amazing amounts tougher. Which brings us kind of to the next thing that I thought was a lot of fun, and I think Xill really enjoyed it as well, which was the twins of the two main guy characters. I forget the actor's name. They're both fairly known actors, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But
they look really similar.
Yes, they dress pretty much exactly the same. They have effectively the same speech mannerisms. They're from very similar-ish places. And he has commandments, the little sidekick guy, and he, of course, our main character's rules, and so they have this weird rule competition going on,
but they also clearly are both really enjoying it. They're not actually mad at each other.
They're having a lot of fun with it.
They play Magic the Gathering together.
Basically, yeah.
No, they did.
Did they? I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
Yeah, when they were at the little table playing cards, they were Magic cards.
Oh, I didn't even catch that. That's so funny. Did not catch that at all. It's amazing. Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. That scene was really cool, and they have
and then the two whatever you want to call
the girls.
The other guy, the other two guys have the opposite dynamic where they're, they walk up to each other and they simultaneously say, "I don't like you." Yeah. The two big, tough, cowboy type characters, basically. Yeah, they walk up, "Oh, I don't like you," and they, even though they're also still kind of getting along, but in a very way. Yeah.
And then the two female characters who are in the scene are basically looking at each other like, what the actual heck is going on right now? It was a lot of fun. It was a cool scene, and then they kind of closed that scene out with a zombie fight, and the two twins, the two new characters, go out to prove themselves or something. I'm not really entirely sure what. It made sense kind of at the time, but looking back on it, why wouldn't you ask for help? Which is one of our main character's rules. Apparently not a commandment, but. So they go out there and they kill, I think, 4 or 5 T-800s. It seemed like they were T-800s anyway. And then they come back in and they end up have gotten bit. Ooh, words. And so that turns into a whole new zombie fight scene. But of course, before that though, before that whole fight, we got to see some fun shenanigans with the king's house. Wow, why am I blanking on
Elvis?
Thank you. Wow. So
okay.
Yeah. So they visit the Elvis's museum / house, and you get to see all kinds of fun stuff with that. And the main character, Jesse Eisenberg, I believe, tries on Elvis's shoes and is an exact fit. And it's just this whole thing, which is really funny.
Yeah, because Tallahassee's obsessed with Elvis for
no
bizarre reason, despite apparently hating musicians.
Yeah. Well, it's because he's the king. It's fine.
Yeah. And is I'm gonna put that shoe on, and it doesn't fit him at all. So the person he sees is basically a child in his own eyes. Suddenly he can wear Elvis's shoes, and it's this whole point of contention. Yeah,
it's pretty funny. But yeah, I think, let's see, did we, on our little list here, anything else we missed?
Talk about the new character that you wanted to talk about.
Oh yes, the new blonde girl that they find right after Little Rock and Wichita take off at the mall. Was actually really funny. She's definitely the classic, airheaded blonde stereotype, which was, in some ways very annoying, but they managed to spin it in a way where it didn't grate on me as much as I kind of thought it would at first.
I kept expecting her to turn out to actually be really smart and just playing dumb the whole time as a survival tactic, and then they never did that.
Yeah.
But she also was honestly the only person who had reasonable social interactions for the most part.
Kind of, yeah. Everybody else is being snarky and sarcastic, and she's
yeah. Well, there's also the end where so the main, the narrator starts off with his girlfriend, and he proposes to her, and then she's I don't actually want to marry you, so she leaves. And then a month later, he starts, like, not really dating this girl, but everybody says he is. And she's traveling with them, so whatever. And then at the end, she's like, oh, the ring that I found was meant for the first girlfriend, so here you go. Like, it was a very mature response.
Yeah.
Especially compared to everybody else being like...
I don't know, I think on some level she was smarter than she was letting on.
Yeah, no, they definitely, like, did that a couple times, but I expected that to come into play, and it never did.
Yeah, but she was definitely, like, the classic, like, airheaded, like, but she could tell that there was a lot kind of going on behind the scene, like, in her brain, also, at the same time. It was just really mixed. Like, the actress who played her and the character, I think, was just well-written overall. There were some things that I do feel like she was underutilized as a whole. Like, maybe they had written her a larger role to begin with and kind of cut some of that out in favor of the classic characters, which, you know, it's fine. But yeah, it was a fun addition. I definitely at first, when she first showed up, I was like, oh gosh. But it turned out to be, I think, a great addition overall. Definitely underutilized addition, but good nonetheless. But yeah, so one of the things about, because she's the girl that has the allergic reaction, they kind of framed it like she could have potentially gotten bitten in the zombie fight scene before that.
Yeah, they show this zombie is about to bite her, and then the zombie gets shot, and everything's resolved, and then she has this allergic reaction. I'm sitting there like, okay, her face is splotchy and she can't breathe.
Yeah.
So, why don't you do something?
Yeah, well, they did. But anyway, so that's kind of our thoughts and commentary on Zombieland Double Tap. I personally think it was a lot of fun. I'm glad I bought it. I don't know if I'd pay $25 for it again if I lost our disc here. But I'm glad to have it because I also own the first one. And so kind of completes the collection for me. Also, you know, it'd be fun to watch them back to back, go back and refresh myself on the first one and watch the second one. You know, if you really like Zombieland 1, you'll probably like Zombieland Double Tap. I don't know if you'll love it as much as the original, but it's still a great addition.
I'd definitely say watch the first one first, if you feel like it. Don't necessarily have to rewatch it once you've seen it, because I don't feel like you needed to remember the plot. You just needed to, like, be familiar with the setting to some extent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, guys, so thanks. What
do you call a werewolf YouTuber?
What?
A like and subscribe.
A like and subscribe. Okay. Alright. I'm going to have to remember that so I can use it next time. Thanks so much, guys. Have a good day.